Hi everyone, my name is Sarai Barba and my presentation will be pertaining to work stress and stressors. Stress is primarily a psychological and physiological reaction to certain threatening life events. A psychological reaction pertains to depression, anxiety, and irritability, whilst a physiological reaction is more of a physical bodily symptom, such as headaches, tiredness, increased heartbeat, and high blood pressure. Worker stress has the same reactions, but instead is caused by the work environment. One thing that the textbook points out is that stress is perceptual. This means that everybody experiences or has a different reaction to stress. While one event might be stressful to one person, it might not be that fear-provoking to another person. There is a misconception that stress is bad for you, but in fact, there is actual positive stress, which could be encouraging, motivating, and challenging, considered as eustress. I currently work as a team member for Yogurland, and my responsibilities consist of handling cash, preparing ingredients, stocking dispensers, responding to phone calls, customers, and online orders, and keeping store neat and tidy at all times. I have come across a few issues during my stay here. The first issue is that our team is understaffed. There were several times when job was scheduled over almost 30 hours a week due to the lack of staff. Additionally, this made schedules less flexible as there was only a few workers to cover shifts. I have also interestingly encountered both work overload and underutilization. While I do feel underutilized and as if my job does not require much mental thinking, I feel overworked when we have rushes of people and our system fails, making the lines longer and slower. There are two separate job titles at Yogurland. While the shift lead has more responsibilities and earns a higher wage, a team member has less responsibilities and earns a lower wage. One issue I encountered is job ambiguity. It was very unclear what tasks the shift lead had to do compared to what tasks I had to do. This ultimately made working conditions very unfair as our labor didn't equivalate to our wage. The textbook claims that there are two sources of stress related to worker stress. The first one is situational stress, which refers to stress arising from certain conditions that exist in the work environment or worker's personal life. Situational stress is characterized under two umbrellas. The first one is work task stressors. Work task stressors refers to the characteristics of the tasks done. This can take two turns. Either the employee feels like they are being underutilized and not doing enough, or they are experiencing a work overload and are doing more than what they are capable of doing. The second source of situational stress is work role stressors. This refers to the employee's responsibility, role, and title in their job. Job ambiguity, lack of control, and the physical conditions makes it easier for the employee to be confused of their role and responsibility that they have to do for their job. Dispositional stress, on the other hand, is the quality of an individual's character, habits, and state of readiness. First example of dispositional stress is hardiness. Hardiness is the ability to endure difficult problems, which could be very beneficial when encountering stress during work-related problems or issues. Type A behavior is characterized as being impatient, aggressive, while Type B is more relaxed. The difference between Type A and B is that Type A is more prone to stress, while Type B is less prone to stress, which could be very critical in a work situation. According to the textbook, there are several effects caused by worker stress, such as low job performance, absenteeism and turnover, mental illness, physical illness, job burnout. There are three stages of job burnout. The first one is emotional exhaustion. The second one is depersonalization, in which people are not intact with themselves anymore. And the last and final one is low personal achievement. The research article I chose studied 600,000 men and women from 27 different cohort studies done in Europe and Japan. This study measured the relationship and association between job strains and one's health. The finding indicated that those who worked in the job straining environment were 95% more at risk to get coronary heart disease compared to those free of job strain. This demonstrates and highlights the importance of not only job strain, but the amount of hours worked in a week. The more hours and the more stressful a job is, the more likely a person is to get coronary heart disease. There are different recommendations in regards to helping cope with worker stress. The textbook recommends two different sources of strategies to reduce stress. Individual coping strategies refers to meeting the demands of the individual. This can be done by exercising, the use of mediation, and cognitive restructuring, which is looking at a situation in a different way. The second one is organizational coping strategies. These are techniques used by the organization in efforts to decrease employee stress. Some examples of this is improving employee training, improving employee sense of control, eliminating punishment management, removing hazardous conditions, and providing supportive environment. The research article did not provide specific recommendations or a solution, but based on the results indicating that job strain is in fact associated with one's health, it is important to take days off from work or simply take more time out of your day to relax and do things you enjoy.